So, you ever feel like you're just not getting what you want from AI? You ask for something and it gives you junk. Well, here's the thing. The problem probably isn't the AI, it's us. In this explainer, we're going to break down prompt engineering, which is basically the secret to talking to AI like a pro and getting exactly what you need from these amazing tools. Just let that sink in for a second. Most of us think AI just isn't that smart sometimes. But what if the real issue is we just don't know how to talk to it properly? If you've ever been let down by an AI's answer, this totally reframes the whole thing, right? It's not a technology problem anymore. It's a communication problem. Okay, so let's get right into it. What is this AI communication gap? And why so often are the results we get from these AI tools just, well, kind of weak? I bet this looks familiar to a lot of you. You type in something super simple, like write a report about AI, and what you get back is this generic, boring, and frankly unhelpful wall of text. It's pretty much useless. This is the absolute classic example of that communication breakdown we're talking about. You had a specific idea in your head, but the AI, it had no clue. And this number, this really gets to the heart of it. A whopping 80% of the quality you get out of an AI comes directly from the quality of what you put in. I mean, think about that for a second. The power to get a brilliant, amazing result it's in your hands. It's simple, really. A weak prompt is almost guaranteed to give you a weak result. But here's the great news, okay? There is a solution, and it's actually really clear and straightforward. We're going to walk you through a simple formula that I promise will completely change how you talk to AI. So, what's the secret sauce, right? What's the magic trick to unlocking better AI answers? How do we go from getting those bland, generic reports to really tapping into the incredible power these tools have? And here it is. It's called the five-part prompt formula. Super simple. It's role, context, task, format, and constraints. Just 5 little steps. This simple framework is your key, your secret weapon for getting way, way better results. So let's break it down piece by piece. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. We're going to break down this formula, explaining what each of these 5 pieces actually means and how you can put them together to build an absolute powerhouse of a prompt. First up is role. And honestly, this one is a game changer. Instead of just talking to some generic chatbot, you give it a job, you tell it who to be. What this does is it forces the AI to pull from all its knowledge related to that specific persona, and boom, its response is instantly more focused. For instance, you could tell it, act as a marketing strategist, or act as a legal advisor, or even act as a senior software engineer. Every single one of these roles primes the AI to think and answer from a completely different expert point of view. And that's how you get answers that are way more relevant and way higher quality. Okay, next up is context. Look, AI is powerful, for sure, but it can't read your mind. It's not magic. It only knows exactly what you tell it. So the more background info you give it about your company, your goals, what you're trying to do, the smarter and more tailored its answer is going to be. All right, let's talk about task and format. This part is where you really take the driver's seat. You have to be super explicit. Don't just hint at what you want. Spell it out. Say, create a plan, or draft an email, or summarize this document. And, this is just as crucial, tell it how you want the output structured. You know, if you don't specify a format, the AI is just going to take a wild guess. But you can tell it exactly what you want. Ask for bullet points, a table, an executive summary, an email draft, a slide outline. Heck, you can even ask for code formats like JSON. Seriously, this step alone will save you so much time you would have spent reformatting stuff later. And finally, the last piece of our formula, constraints. Think of these as the rules of the game, the boundaries. You can tell it to stay within a certain budget or under a specific word count. You can tell it who the target audience is, or even tell it to write in simple, easy-to-understand English. Constraints are what give the final answer that laser-sharp precision and focus. Okay, so let's see this whole thing in action. On the left, we have the weak prompt, right marketing strategy. Yawn. But on the right, we're using our formula. We've got the role, digital marketing strategist. We've got the context. I run a Malaysian F&B brand targeting Gen Z. We've got the task and format, create a 3-month strategy, in a table. And we've got the constraint, budget under $30,000. It's the exact same AI, but I guarantee you, the result you get from the prompt on the right is going to be 1,000 times more valuable. Okay, So now you've got the 5-part formula in your toolkit. Let's level up your game. I'm going to share a really powerful pro tip, and then we'll look at some of the most common pitfalls people fall into.
Here's a fantastic pro tip for you. It's called chain of thought prompting. For really complex tasks, all you have to do is add this simple phrase to your prompt. Think step by step before answering. That's it. This little instruction forces the AI to actually work through its logic before it spits out an answer, and you'll find it dramatically improves its reasoning.
And now for the things you want to avoid. Look, prompts that are too short or have zero context, they're always going to give you bad results. We know that now. But maybe the single biggest mistake people make is expecting a 100% perfect answer right out of the gate and then just giving up when they don't get it. The key thing to remember is this. Prompting is a conversation. It's a loop. Your first prompt is just the opening line. It gets you a starting point. From there, you refine, you improve, you ask it to clarify things, and you optimize. The absolute best results always come from that back and forth process. All right, let's zoom out a bit. You have the formula, you have the pro tips. So what does this all mean in the real world? How does this all come together? And more importantly, why should you care about this for your career? Yeah, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is happening right now in the real world across pretty much every department you can think of. You've got HR teams using it to screen resumes way faster. Sales teams are drafting personalized outreach emails automatically. Even legal departments are using it to summarize massive, complex contracts in just a few seconds. The applications are literally everywhere. And that brings us to what might be the single most important point of this whole thing. The real story isn't AI is replacing humans. No. The story is humans who know how to use AI will replace those who don't. That's the truth. This skill, learning how to talk to AI, it's quickly becoming one of the most fundamental skills in the professional world. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. Think about your own job, your industry, your daily tasks. How could you use this simple 5-part formula, role, context, task, format, and constraints, to completely transform how you work? How much more productive could you be? I mean, really think about it, because the possibilities are absolutely endless.